everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Evil
Chris?
I wanted to see my breath, like my oxygen still didn't run out. Like I could have kept going, but I felt like you guys were getting scared.
I was terrified. I was like, I had dialed already 9-1, and I was just waiting to dial the third and final one. But I don't know your
You're-
address, so it wouldn't have helped. I would have told them to come to my apartment, and
Yeah.
then it wouldn't have made a difference.
And then you drive around with an ambulance, like looking at streets to try and recognize it.
This looks like his house, but
I don't think it's on. We're not even in the right end of the city.
Chris, I gotta say, you can blow, dude. Like
What?
your lung
Oh, yeah.
capacity is really good. You can really blow.
Well,
blow,
honestly,
man.
my saying an intro to Evil Men is actually like one of my inspirations is Dizzy Gillespie.
Dizzy Gillespie, is he one of the great trumpeters who could do that thing, circular breathing, where you could be blowing and inhaling at the same time? Because there were some jazz trumpeters and maybe classical trumpeters who learned that skill so they could continuously play and never stop.
Dizzy Gillespie had the cheeks. I know that. He had the
circular
big
cheeks.
giant cheeks.
It
So maybe that's
reminds
what was
me.
going on in there.
Did you ever have a gold? I remember I had a goldfish as a kid, and he had big bulbous cheeks. Possibly had some
Bulbous.
kind of illness or something. But I don't know if you guys have ever seen a goldfish with cheeks like that, and that's what I think of when I think of Dizzy.
No. Jeez.
Hmm.
Should have given that goldfish a little trumpet. See if he could play Hot Peanuts.
I also remember having goldfish and they had poo coming out of their bum and it
Yeah.
just wouldn't get out and it would just
Just
hang
like-
out of its bum for like a week.
Just
Yeah.
like jazz legend Dizzy Gillespie.
Yeah, I know. Fish's poo trails long behind them, like those planes you can hire at the beach to pull a sign so that everyone can see it.
You know that Dizzy Gillespie could do a thing called circular pooping, where he could be
Mhm.
eating while he was defecating, and it just was a never-ending sort of cycle.
If I
Well,
was
sometimes
a
when he would do a solo, the rest of the bandmates would take his long line of poo and do like skipping, like they'd skip with it like a skipping rope.
The audience, it divided the audience, but it was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
a great business idea, goldfish toilet paper. Well, think about it. Their poo is
yeah.
hanging out of their bums
Mhm.
Yeah.
seemingly regularly. Like that's a money-making opportunity right there.
I love that you get a soft paper, toilet paper, and all you got to do is roll up your sleeve, put your arm halfway into the little fish tank you got there in your living room, and wipe your goldfish's bum. That's great, James. That's genius.
Yeah. And who wouldn't like doing that?
Yeah, it's better than what already happens now. It just breaks off after 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's so brittle. That's what I hate about it.
Yeah. It makes a snap like a twig sound when it breaks off of its butt. Gross.
I know.
This is just a bit of gross out humor as we ease into this week's episode after the big election that happened.
Well, because you were away
Mhm.
for a week, Mike. So we're kind of feeling each other out again. It's been 2 weeks, so I think
Mhm.
for Chris and I, we have to be a little hesitant and delicate and kind of approach you slowly and make sure you're the Mike we know. And
Michael's in the rearview mirror may appear more skittish and nervous than they seem.
Yeah, we've been like keeping up to date and so we've had a lot of practice. Like we haven't stopped, but you took a week off, so it's like we want you to warm up with us again and get comfortable, and we don't want you to feel, rushed, or
Thank you.
we don't want to steamroll over you.
Thanks. It's nice.
Yeah, we don't want to intimidate you, basically, because you're back with the big dogs.
Yeah.
This ain't
Absolutely.
no conversation with Suze.
No, absolutely. There's more at stake here. There's more money involved right now. So,
And I
yes.
do think, Mike, it is tough for you probably too, because you've just
Mm.
spent a week with your girlfriend and you're
Yes.
able to cuddle her, hold her, be like
Yeah.
physically intimate, and you can't with us. So I imagine
No.
for you, that's like got to be quite the adjustment.
Well, it's true. I remember when we had that meeting a few months ago where I delicately brought up the subject of cuddling with you guys, and you guys both,
Mhm.
to your credit, you were nice about it, but you said you didn't think it was going to happen, and so I didn't bother bringing up kissing and being intimate as well. Yeah.
Yeah. We it's not just because we're in remote locations
No.
recording together online, but it is like even in person we have said you're not allowed to hug and kiss us and cuddle with us.
Yeah, it's
I
too
don't
bad.
know why, to be honest. It's kind of like so many documents to sift through it's quite a bureaucratic mess to
Well,
figure out
the
all the
American
legal
podcast.
ramifications of us cuddling together.
Yeah, I know that. So we're in Canada, but I know that the big American podcasts, the hosts always hug and kiss their guests when they arrive and during the
Yeah.
show and when they leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Theo Vaughn, yeah,
Hmm.
he does that.
Well,
I
all three of us have different agents, managers, and lawyers. So there's a lot of weird stuff that we're not even aware of that they kind of
Yeah.
organize for us before we even record an episode.
Absolutely. Like my manager a few times has tried to schedule me having intercourse with Mike, and I had to be like, I'm ACTRA union. I'm not, I'm just not going to do that. At least not unless it was double scale or at least. So
For
That's the
sure.
it is
thing.
tricky,
Yeah.
and we all try to make it work legally with each other, doing this
Hmm.
podcast, but stuff like that does come up.
Yeah. My agent says I have to be wary of like who actually created the moment of hugging and kissing,
Mhm.
because if it was my impulse, then I get to be billed fully as creator,
Right.
and then that gets into difficulty of like say if Mike thought that he created hugging and kissing with me first, then he feels like he's
Yeah.
being blocked out, and
Yeah.
he's just going to get like an executive producer credit or something.
And if we do get all of our representatives to agree to hugging and kissing or more, then we've got to deal with Robert, who is Evil Men's intimacy coordinator.
That's
Oh
true.
god, and he comes with his own set of managers
Yeah.
and lawyers and
Yeah.
rules and laws, and oh
I
man,
hate Robert.
I hate Robert too. He's
Yeah.
too happy
Yeah, I
for
don't like
us.
him. You know what's funny? While I was away, I got an email from my former acting agent with an audition, and it was like she was like, "Are you comfortable with doing this self-tape shirtless?" I was like, sure." And then I read it, and
Ooh.
it was for a
Mm.
commercial. It was like a non-union commercial, and I am union. I'm in ACTRA, the Actors Union of Canada, and so I messaged her saying, uh, I don't think I can do this because I'm union. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, just forget it."
Is
You
that
would have
literally how the message went?
Yeah, and she doesn't even rep me anymore. But she sent me a non-union commercial where I had to
Yeah.
be topless. Yeah.
maybe she wanted to see you topless.
I mean, that's the first thought that just lightning bolted through my mind too.
She's heard about my golden nipples.
Remember when we had Stacy on and she was hounding you, take off your shirt, Mike?
Yeah, maybe Stacy's your ex-agent.
Maybe Stacy's my ex-agent, and she wanted to finally see my golden nipples.
Guys,
Hmm?
would you be upset if I I'm sorry. I would you guys be upset if I started an offshoot podcast where me and another guest review AI busty MILF elf creations? Like like they're busty
Elf
MILFs, but they're
creations?
also elves. with like elf ears and stuff?
So it's
Not-
like a
Because I
not
looked it
all.
up today, and there's a
Christmas theme?
lot.
Huh.
You know what? Lots of podcasts have spin-offs. If anything, it probably creates a broader universe that's probably a good thing. You could even drop them in our feed if you wanted to, or whatever you want, in my opinion.
Would our Evil Men like podcast universe be called Evil Verse?
Evilverse.
Evil
That's pretty
The
cool.
Evilverse.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Well,
that's pretty cool.
So is this Christmas themed, or is it more sort of like Tolkien, Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings style?
Busty MILFs who are like fantasy elves from like a Tolkien type setting. It's really incredible.
Right.
Sometimes I approach this stuff ironically, but then I start looking at it going like, this is fucking awesome.
It's
So
It's too bad Tolkien isn't alive today to
Yeah.
see these AI busty milfs who are elves.
Do you
well,
think that J.R.R. was the Tolkien fantasy writer
Chris, like,
in
do
his
you
group
want to
of friends?
do you want to do a test run of this MILF podcast? Like, do you want to pull one up and
Yeah. I want to
and
do
talk about it?
okay.
Just throwing it out there.
Oh
And
fuck,
you'll have to
dude.
describe them very, very in detail, but with taste, I guess, for our
Yeah,
listeners.
true. We
Of
don't wanna
course,
be
no, of course.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always tasteful.
off-putting.
Yeah, well, I didn't mean to make you feel bad.
Okay, honestly, there's a million, and I'm
Maybe
sending
find a
you
busty
guys.
AI MILF who's not just about looks. She's also seems like a great person, and you
Yeah.
might feel romantic toward her because also she seems like a cool, nice person.
And fill me in here, guys. You guys might know a bit more about the fantasy genre than me. Do elves have magical powers?
Wow. Well,
Can
that's
they
a
I
great
cast
think
question.
spells?
I think they do, because in Lord of the Rings, the elves, I think they were like immortal, some of them, or they lived a long time. And I do
Wow.
think dark elves definitely mess around with magic.
Dark elves.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm for all my sci-fi and fantasy interest, I never read Lord of the Rings. I've just sort of half paid attention to the movies. So
But
yeah.
but you mentioned today you agree with me about maybe just fucking doing it once and
It'd
for
be
all.
fun to
eh?
read it again. Yeah.
Read it again, but you haven't done it.
Or sorry, like I know that I've seen the movies. I meant like,
Oh, yeah,
it would
yeah.
be fun to read it.
Okay,
I
check out your
wished-
texts. I picked
Okay.
one and sent it. This is AI Art Elf by @Jane Doe.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
And to describe
Okay.
it is sort of a very anime style.
Not Christmas at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
not
they're not
Christmas
all. Yeah, I picked this one, but there are some more realistic ones. But this is sort of like it's almost like a manga art a little bit, maybe.
Yes.
I'm nervous that if she moves too quickly, part of her clothes will fall off.
That's the thing. Okay, so now let's get into sort of maybe describing this AI busty MILF elf woman a little bit so that the listeners can understand this piece of art that we're critiquing
And,
right now.
Mike,
Question.
your hands up.
I have a question about the busty elf milf.
Yeah.
Now, a
Yeah.
milf is supposed to be a mother, someone who's
I
had
know.
produced children. She looks quite young.
I think so too, but
Maybe she's a young
also
mum.
I sincerely don't mean to be like, crass or rude or whatever,
Yeah.
but her jugs kind of look like she could be a very successful mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Is that bad? I
what you
don't mean to. I'm
No,
just
no,
talking about art.
You're talking about art. I think it'd be good after we talk about this. After we objectify this elf, if we looked at a hunk elf of a man.
I agree, Michael.
Sure.
And I actually think that's a great, in my opinion, a great note for Chris's podcast idea. You do one busty AI MILF and you do one hot AI guy.
One
That does
super
kinda
well
make it-
hung elf.
Yeah.
Like an elf with a huge.
Yeah, I think it should still be in the elf fantasy universe. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are
Yeah.
always helping me from not being a chauvinist pig.
Now she
No, but,
has pointy ears, and if she turned too quickly, I'd be afraid she might poke my darn eyes out.
Yeah, she has
That's the
Spock
thing.
ears.
So if you're like, yeah. So I think this is beautiful.
Can I say her hair color is kind of like Dolly Parton's hair. Like it's
Yeah.
not blonde, it's kind of white. And I guess Dolly Parton was perhaps an odd reference. Maybe subconsciously I was
but
thinking of something else.
because
But
AI makes this art from like using thousands and thousands of suggestions, right?
right.
Mm.
So I bet you Dolly Parton could definitely be buried in there, deep
Maybe
down somewhere.
maybe
I
someone
also
in
see
chat.
like her clothes kind of resemble something She-Ra would have worn
Yes.
in Masters of the Universe.
Elfleen,
Yeah.
Elfleen, Elfleen, Elfleen.
Do you think Dolly Parton ever read the complete Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Wow, I just can't believe what they did to Sauron.
My mama and my daddy, we grew up in a poor little shack in the mountains, and we didn't have much of anything, really. We just all had each other, and we had love. But we also had a complete set of the Lord of the Rings novels.
Well,
Working 9 to 5 is actually about the hobbits and Hobbiton and the work they did 9 to 5.
When I saw
working 9 to 5 is actually about reading Lord of the Rings 9 to 5.
the original title for Jolene was actually it was a song about Gollum stealing her man.
Yeah.
We're like Gollum, Gollum, Gollum. The record executives were like, Dolly, we don't think this has much commercial potential.
Well, okay, that brings me to the next question about this piece of art. Do you think Dolly Parton would fall in love with Andy Serkis ever?
Oh, they dated.
Hasn't she been with the same husband forever?
She has, I think, yeah.
That's nice. Okay, so this busty MILF elf that you can AI generated that you can just look up anywhere. Um I don't know. I kind of like it. It's fantastic as in the sense that it's like, there's and you can see below there's a fantastic city, but they're halfway submerged up to their mid-thigh in a sort of pond water. There's beautiful trees around them, a nice setting sun in the sky. It's actually quite a beautiful picture. And a band of like flowers and leaves like over their hair, almost like an ancient Greek type of band covering their hair.
I
I
like
don't
how
know.
you're using the pronoun they about this AI busty MILF in case she's non-binary or they are non-binary.
Well, yeah, you never know. Yeah, I can't really see the front, and also it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People choose to be non-binary or not.
Right.
Now she's in the water and she's either
God, I don't
bathing
know.
or who knows, maybe she's relieving herself in the stream, or she's just, maybe she's just cooling down. Maybe she's cooling down and relieving herself. I guess it's not clear what she's doing.
So, what would
Well,
you give this piece of art out of 10? Maybe
10.
yeah,
as
10. I'd
art,
say,
yeah,
yeah,
it's probably a solid 10. I mean, put a frame on this and throw it up in the art gallery of Ontario, as far as I'm
Now,
I
concerned.
have to say, like, I really think it's going to be hard for me to find any AI busty MILF elf and not think it's a 10.
So Mike,
Okay, Mike sent us a pic.
yeah, Mike sent his own AI. Oh, it's a really small picture, but I can enlarge it. Here we go.
Yeah, I
Okay.
enlarged it a little bit too. Yeah,
Oh,
So
when I texted, it was small.
yeah,
that's okay.
but that's
Oh,
okay.
okay. Sorry, guys.
So it's a picture of a male elf, and
Yes.
he's playing a violin. He has no shirt
Mhm.
on. He's ripped. His sort of pants go very low to the point where you can see the muscles that trail down to his penis.
Which I
And
love.
he has
Yeah.
beautiful blonde hair, kind of rough and tousled long blonde hair.
Yes.
Yeah,
And pointy ears, just the same as the lady from the
yeah,
previous picture.
I'll say it right now. I would absolutely love to watch this elf make love to the lady elf.
yeah. In fact, like right now, we might be at like the warming up to it with him playing the music on the violin while she bathes in the pond.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Maybe
He's
he's
playing her bathing music. He plays
yeah,
his fiddle. That's her bathing music. And then she gets all clean, and then
You know when you're in a fancy restaurant's bathroom and you're taking a dump, but nice music is
Yes.
playing on the speaker? That's what he's
Yes.
doing for her. Yes.
So here's my worry, though. She's going to be sparkling clean from the stream. He
Yeah.
comes in, he's working up a sweat, playing his violin so nicely. What if it gets to the point, and I don't mean to be crude, but when things at the moment where they, maybe she undoes his blanket or his shorts or whatever he's wearing, and he's not as clean as she is, and she goes, "Ugh, what's that awful smell?"
doo-doo dick.
He could
Yeah.
have it, yeah.
I hope he doesn't have doo-doo
I know
dick.
it's like it's so weird sometimes. It's like depending on how you are with intercourse, it's like shower before and after, right?
Or during.
Oh,
Good call. Kill two birds with one stone. Kill two birds with one bone.
How tall are elves supposed to be? Like 4 feet tall? 3?
no, I think elves are human height. I'm just googling it. How tall are elves? Because
Elves are human height.
They're human
Elves
height
are
in the
between
Lord of the
6
Rings movie.
because we're not talking Santa's elves, Okay, so in the Dungeons and Dragons world, they're 5 to 6 feet. In the Tolkien world, they're 6.5 feet.
Damn, this
Yeah.
guy's huge.
And in the Santa universe, they're 2 to 4 feet.
Hey, elf,
Weird.
pass me that box of Raisin Bran. You know what? I totally forgot about Santa's elves.
Chris, I
To
hate
me,
that.
those aren't elves to me. I feel like those are
Nah.
more
They're
like
not like
dwarves.
Yes. Yes. Or gnomes
Santa's
or
elves,
something.
they're like
Gnomes.
crumbs compared to this god of an elf playing violin. He's so muscular and his hair is so beautiful. I'm imagining he's, well hung. I'm just gonna put that out there. I imagine he is.
Yeah.
He definitely is.
He is. He is.
Do you think he's a pointy one? Because he has pointy ears?
Like his ears? Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. Maybe his has ears on the side.
And that's different from the Santa elves.
Yeah. I feel
I
like
think
if
it's
this guy was in Santa's workshop, he'd be like daydreaming
be-
all the time, and then Santa and the other elves would be like, "It's okay. You don't have to work here. You're destined for something else."
If he was in Santa's workshop, Santa might not want to go out of town because Mrs. Claus is going to be all over this guy.
Oh my God, good call.
Mrs. Claus, can I talk to you for a minute? Why does the bedroom smell like elf?
I think we were talking of elves' penises. I think a Santa elf would almost have a penis like a little wooden toy. Like the little wooden cars.
Like a train toy? Yeah.
It would be kind of like a wooden block with little
Like one of those
pieces.
wooden whistles you can blow on. It goes,
Yes!
Those
Yeah.
are awesome.
yeah.
That's what the elves
Man,
do when they're
okay,
not
I gotta
working.
tell you, when I was a little kid, and my big present, I had unwrapped all my presents, a clementine, a tangerine, a candy cane. I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
But then my parents would say, "That's not it. Look, there's a there's a big present still unwrapped under the tree. Go look at it. I think it's for you." And I'd get excited, and I'd have, along with my citrus fruit and one candy cane, I'd have another present. Are you serious? And I'd rip it open vigorously, excited. And lo and behold, it was one of the best days of my life when I got that big wooden block whistle. Best Christmas ever. Awesome, right?
That is awesome.
Yeah, today's
Your
kids
whole
will never
year
know.
is set. Your
Yeah.
whole year is set
Yeah.
after you get something like that.
You can do anything with that whistle. You can bring it to school, show it off. You can blow it. You can do anything with that whistle.
No,
Yeah, I
actually,
used to think that when you blew it, a train would come through your living room wall, but that never happened.
Mike, can I just throw in one more thing here?
Yes.
I've noticed over the course of this intro, I feel as though I can detect almost the sides of your lips are turned up in what almost might be a grin. And I'm
What?
wondering, I think you're excited about something, okay? And I'm wondering, are you actually excited because we're almost in candy cane season?
Yes, we're
Because
almost
Mike,
in. Yes.
you love candy canes.
Yeah, we're almost in suckling season 2024. When next time you see me, I'll have at least one candy cane in my mouth, and I'll be suckling it and slurping it and chewing it and just having a big smile on my face. And it's very. My dentist hates this time of year, and my dentist said we hate. He said, "Michael, I hate suckling season," and I said, "Well, I hate you."
Oh, are you gonna go back to him, or are you gonna get a new
No,
dentist?
fuck him.
We should maybe
Yeah.
over on the road to Christmas time,
Mhm.
uh, maybe we should have some kind of tally, like how many candy canes you suckled this week
Suckle,
or something. I don't know.
yeah. Suckle score. You know what we could do? We could get a few different because they have like all sorts of. It used to be in the olden days there was just the sort of peppermint flavor of candy canes, but now they have candy canes in all the flavors of the rainbow. We should try. We should have like a candy cane taste test kind of thing for a Christmas episode.
I love
I would
that.
love that. Have you ever had a blueberry one?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think I can really think of ever trying a funny flavored candy cane.
Oh well, James, this is going to be great.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
dude. Cotton candy, candy cane?
Yeah.
Cotton candy, candy cane?
Cotton candy, candy cane.
Cotton candy, candy cane. Candy cane, candy cane, cotton candy, candy cane. Come on, harmonize with me. Candy cane,
Cane,
candy
candy
cane,
cane,
cotton,
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 candy
candy
cane,
cane.
candy cane, candy cane, cotton, cotton, candy cane.
And this year's Christmas number one is by Evil Men Boys, Cotton Cotton Candy Cane.
Candy
Candy
cane,
cane,
cotton,
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 candy
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 cane,
cane,
cane.
candy cane, candy
candy,
cane.
cotton candy cane.
Cotton, cotton, candy cane.
Let's go door to door in a neighborhood, in a bad neighborhood, and do
Yeah.
some caroling, and we just sing that song over and over again until we get beat up.
Candy cane, oh, candy
Candy
cane.
cane,
Cotton, cotton, candy,
candy
candy cane.
cane.
Mom, it's the candy cane carolers.
Tell your mom to come to the window.
Mike, we're caroling for moms this year.
Want my dad to come to the window? No.
Only
Tell your
moms.
dad to stay in his chair.
We're only caroling for moms, and if you have a sister over 18.
We're raising money for a good cause. It goes towards us being able to go to Mom Island. How come there's no Jeffrey Epstein for Mom Islands?
Well, before we get to our topic today, I just want to mention that we have a Patreon account that you can find at patreon.com/evilmen. And if you sign up, you get 2 bonus episodes a month, and you get to be on our Discord and loads more. Our last Patreon bonus only episode was with Tim Gilbert, where the 3 of us tried to use a Ouija board. It was really good. So subscribe, you get all access to all our old bonus episodes, and you really help us out, which we really appreciate. So check it out. Patreon.com/evilmen. And if you can't subscribe, you could rate us 5 stars on Spotify and iTunes. That would be really helpful. And tell your
Rate
friends and all
us.
that.
Rate
I also had
us.
2 little other things to say. Excuse
Mhm.
me. We got a message from a listener in Halifax, and a really nice message, and she wanted us to wish her bestie, Annie, a happy birthday on November 27th. Annie and Carrie listen all the time. Their favorite episode is the Cthulhu episode. So they're Chris heads, and
Woo!
her message was really nice. So, Annie, happy
Well, I think
birthday out there.
The Cthulhu one is also, but also don't forget, we all started doing the crooner that lives in the 60s
Yes.
suburban bungalow. I think that's the
Yes.
real hit of that episode.
Clam chowder and a cigarette doesn't get more classy than this.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Annie.
Happy birthday. Can I also, maybe they'll come see you in Halifax, Chris.
They're going to.
Oh boy.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Thank you, Carrie, and happy birthday, Annie.
I wanted
Thank
to
you.
say, I wanted to send a shout out to two young men
What
that
the
mean,
hell?
that mean a lot to me. When I was last week, I was with Suze Kempner. I went to see her tour show, Class of 2000 in Bristol, UK, at the Hen and Chickens Theatre. And as I was at the waiting at the bar to whet my whistle, these two guys came up to me and they said, "Are you Michael Balazzo?" And first of all, I thought, "Oh no, it's Interpol. They've come to get me. I'm going to prison." But then they said, "Don't worry, we're not Interpol. We are Evil Men listeners." And these two guys, I couldn't believe it. They were listeners and they're fans of Evil Men, and they're fans of Suze, and they'd heard her on Evil Men, and I'm sure on her own podcast, Mystery on the Rocks, as well. But they were very nice. I believe their names were Toby and Tony. And forgive me if I
sounds wrong.
got
I'll tell you
them
right now,
wrong.
that sounds wrong.
It's so wrong. It's right. But they were very nice, and it was a pleasure to meet them. And if I got your names wrong, please email, and I will do a correction.
Where
That
can
is
they
so
email?
cool.
They
What?
can email at evilmenpod@gmail.com or at evilmenpod on X.
Yeah, you know what? Don't email us because I couldn't tell you the last time I checked that email.
Instagram at evilmenpod.
Instagram's a good one. Hey, and I had one final little message. Believe it or not.
What?
So Mike, did you know this? Evil Men has had its first Discord baby.
I had no idea. Now, before you say any more, I had nothing to do with it. I am not the father, as Maury sometimes would say.
Luke, I'm actually not your father.
Well, I mean, I hope they're okay with me saying this. They put it in the Discord, so I'm assuming they are. But Burrito Slam and a user named Creamed Chipped Bitch, and that's the name she chose. I'm not calling her that. They had a baby. They're both on the Discord, and their baby is named Arlo. So we wanted to say congratulations to you.
Congratulations, Burrito Slam and Cream Chip Bitch.
Yes, Mike.
Yes, I
If
just
you're
wanna
on
get
the
it right.
Discord more, she's she's been around the the scene.
I love these names. They're like something from like Europe or
I think you should have named your child Chili Dog Asshole. Just kidding. Obviously, we're deeply wild about you guys sharing that with us on the Discord, and congratulations. As you know, I'm a father of 2 kids,
Yes.
and it's a really wonderful experience that just keeps giving, and you're surrounded by love, and it brings you guys together even in more of a deeper, loving way. It's a really sweet time for you.
I
So
would
congratulations.
I would love if more of our Discord members started making babies together. Just do it.
Yeah. Even if you're from different parts of the world, meet up, pork, and squeeze one out.
Well, I will not reveal his name for the sake of privacy, and that I think I pressured him into revealing this. But one Evil Men member on the Discord did talk about a threesome he had in
Okay.
honestly in a secret room.
That's
So
awesome.
He could
Secret
have.
room?
Like,
Like
yeah.
at a sex club
I
or
don't
like in
know.
a
I don't know. I didn't want to
mansion?
pry too much. I'm really bad at that. I will really ask people to, press them on the specifics, but he revealed he kind of alluded to something and then revealed this wild sexual escapade. So this is what you're missing if you're not in the
I
Discord.
didn't know that we had perverts on the Discord.
Michael, that is not very sex positive.
I know. I'm just joking. I would love to be a fly on the wall at our Discord members' threesome.
Do your impression of you in a threesome, Mike.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry to you as well.
Now I gotta apologize to 2 chicks. Or whatever, whoever. Sorry. I do feel a bit I'm a bit gruff today. I apologize if I'm being
That's
No.
rude.
okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
Now, Mr. James Hartnett of
Yes.
426 Yonge Street, Toronto, Ontario.
Yes, that's my address.
Can you ask Chris who he chose as today's topic?
Oh, Mike, that's so nice that you handed me this responsibility. I love that. It wasn't bad that I revealed that threesome thing from the Discord, right? I didn't say the guy's name.
No,
We're
it's
good.
good.
We're
It's
good.
good.
And I love
Go on the Discord and ask first.
Yeah.
And then
I
maybe
love
because
learning about that stuff. I love hearing people's crazy stories. I love it. So I was
Me too.
really thrilled.
James, you're
That's
in love with
great.
learning, and you think that the world is your school. And I think that's admirable.
Thank you, Michael. Well, on to the topic du jour. And Michael, you and I have absolutely no idea what Chris is going to say here.
No, I'm nervous.
I'm nervous too. Chris,
Hey,
what topic did you choose?
where in the world is the topic of the episode? I chose, we were saying earlier we've been like living in darkness and hell recently. And and part of that is, our minds do that to us, and I wanted to switch it up, and I found a little fun guy from over in the UK. There's a little cute fun guy named Lukasz Chojnowski. And that's LukaszChojnowski.
Wow.
Lukasz Chojnowski.
Did you look up how to pronounce that? It's pretty hard to pronounce. I'm just going to say it. No offense.
No, I didn't.
You're just winging that one.
Trust me, it's Lukasz Chojnowski. I don't know. Do you think the J is silent? I don't know. I think it's
the
Lucas.
The Z in there was confusing.
So how would you say that? Lukasz is?
Oh, the Z's on the Lucas?
Yes.
Oh, I thought the Z was the first letter in the last word.
Lukasz. So Lukasz is.
Okay.
And then Chojnoski. Would you say
This guy sounds-
Chojnowski? Or would you say Chonowski and the J is silent?
Newski?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, he was born in Poland in 1986.
Oh,
so it's a Polish
God.
name.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I gave him a 9 on the evilometer. No, just joking. Just joking. Tell us more about his life.
There's not much, to be honest. He's kind of a mystery dude, which is kind of fun. Lukasz Chojnowski. Now, please
He
send
was
messages.
He was in the Beatles.
Yeah, but he changed his name to Ringo Starr. No.
John, Paul, George, and Lukasz Chojnowski.
We're bigger than Jesus. Isn't that right, Lukasz Chojnowski? I want to hold your hand. And so does Lukasz Chojnowski. I am the walrus, and that is Lukasz Chojnowski.
How do you do, everyone?
Sitting in an English garden, hanging out with Lukasz Chojnowski. Ba ba ba. Humpty Dumpty Bumpy Dee Bumpy. We're psychedelic. The Beatles created taking drugs.
Yes. Well,
Okay. Enough goofing around. It's
time-
been a hard day's night, and I've been working with Lukasz Chojnowski. I'm not gonna stop this because Mike will laugh every time. All right.
let me take you down, Lukasz Chojnowski.
But I'm Chojnowski Fields. Nothing is real.
Here come old Lukasz Chojnowski. He got. Anyway, we could go on for hours.
Here comes Lukasz Chojnowski. Doo, 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 doo.
Yesterday, Lukasz Chojnowski seems so far away.
Something in the way Lukasz Chojnowski moves.
Back in the Lukasz Chojnowski. Okay, we're going. Yeah, I there's
Mr.
so much.
Chojnowski takes through the road.
Mean Mr. Yeah, I love that. Mean Mr. Lukasz Chojnowski. I'll get by with a little help from Lukasz Chojnowski. I'll get high with a little help from Lukasz Chojnowski. Can I just say, I'm a bit of a, I'm a bit of a tough guy mentally. I'm a bit depressed sometimes, cynical. I gotta say, whenever I hear I get by with a little help from my friends and Ringo's singing it, I think he sounds like the biggest fucking moron. What would you say if I had some friends and I had a fun time with my friends? I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. It's a nice song. I hate that I'm negative, but it's like, it sounds pretty basic. It's a basic bitch song.
Yeah, it sounds like a guy who's maybe been hit on the head a few too many times, who's worried about his friends.
Yeah. Oh, I get a drive home from my friends.
Mom, can you pick me up from my friend?
Yeah. Oh, I get to share the rest of the dinner of my friends. Yeah, it just sounds like a simple man who's walking behind 5 other good friends. Hey, Ringo Starr's a lovely man. He says peace all the time.
Great guy.
Nothing personal. The song just sounds funny to me sometimes.
Yes.
All right, were we talking about Lukasz Chojnowski over here?
Damn right.
No, he was not a member of the Beatles, okay? He was born in 1986. How could he be a member of the Beatles? Poland. At some point, he moved to Leeds, UK. I did glean that much information from a few articles I read. Then eventually moved to Bury, which is in Greater Manchester, UK. Manchester, aka Mike's favorite place on the planet.
He would have been there. He would have been there maybe during Manchester, unless he was too young.
He might have been too young. I don't know when he moved.
Fuck.
To be honest, not much is known of Lukasz Chojnowski. I can only find one picture of him, and I hope this doesn't...
What did he do?
I'm going to get to it. I'm going to tell it in a cool way. I can only find one picture of him, and I hope it doesn't sound too offensive, but he does look Polish.
I know what you mean. I haven't seen
Yeah,
a picture of him, but I know what you mean.
yeah, you know what he looks like. He's a Polish guy.
Yeah.
Sincerely, no offense to Polish listeners. Um,
Yeah.
you could probably say, cliche. I look like a cliche. You kind of get what I mean. He's a white man with short cropped hair, and according to the one picture I could see, a button-down checkered white and blue shirt.
Oh, okay. Any insight on where this shirt was from? Are we talking like Marks and Spencer or?
I think the shirt was from the UK.
Okay.
Yeah,
Was it from Polish Polish Walmart?
yeah, I think it was from one of those like. So you've moved to the UK stores where they transition Polish people by sending them Polish, like selling Polish shirts, so you still feel comfortable in the new UK.
Nice.
Oh God,
Chris, Chris said that and then shook his head.
I fucking
Oh,
hated
no.
the belabored, shitty joke I tried to say. And
Podcasting isn't easy.
sincerely, there's so much. It sounds like I'm ripping on Poland. I love Poland. There's so much good art and film and
You, you're
literature
always
from
talking
there. I
about
feel like a
Poland.
ding dong. Also, good
No.
food. It's just, I don't know. The guy's Polish, and I don't know much else about him. I do know one other aspect about him.
Yeah.
He was an upholsterer.
Oh,
So you know what that is?
like Jack White used to be before he became White Striped.
Really?
So he puts sort of fabric on chairs and that kind of thing.
Yeah, furniture. Okay, so we're gonna get into the meat of the episode.
Mm.
It's not a big one today. It's just a
Meat.
fun, cute one.
Me like meat.
I'm gonna say, before I even say what happened, I'm gonna say I like Lukasz Chojnowski. He's
Mhm.
awesome, and I think
Mhm.
he's kind of cute.
All right.
Oh,
But everything I
alright.
told you so far up to now, this is all we really know of Lukasz Chojnowski. Leading up to the eventful day where he made headlines.
He made headlines.
He made headlines.
Why did he upholster a chair so beautifully that he was in the newspaper?
He upholstered 30 people he murdered. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. No, I'm going to take you to the day.
Okay.
So I'll take you there now and introduce you to the two other main players in our story of his life. Pat Tyson, 73, a former tourist information officer, and her partner, Martin Holtby, 78, a retired civil servant. Now, on the day in question, they were on their way. They were away on a 5-day National Trust excursion. The incident occurred in July 2014. Pat and Martin had just gone to Hereford on a sightseeing trip. You ever been to Hereford, Mike?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay. Thought you'd been everywhere in the UK. Thought you loved it so damn much.
No, sir, not yet.
Well, get to Hereford. Let us know if it's worth it. I guess National Trust is like when you go to like look at old monuments and stuff that are part of the heritage of being British and
Yes.
stuff.
So I imagine like castles or like sites of like I bet Stonehenge is or like bunch of castles around there.
Have you seen is it Ben Wheatley? Who's the director who did Sightseers? Have you seen that movie?
No, sir, I have not.
I recommend Sightseers. Let me just double check. I recommend Sightseers to everyone. It's a horror comedy. Yeah, Ben Wheatley directed it. The guy who did Kill List and some other crap. Okay. So they're on this Hereford. They're in Hereford on a sightseeing trip, but they come home, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of odd, right? The couple returns to find a chicken fillet and pasta dinner had been prepared. There's dinner plates, post, and newspapers neatly stacked. Then they
There's
see
dinner plates and newspapers neatly stacked.
Yeah, I don't think with each other. Like, I think just organized.
So they
Okay.
come home. There's chicken and pasta
Yeah.
and some newspapers.
A chicken fillet.
I'd be
past-
happy because I'd be hungry and I'd go, oh, dinner's ready.
Not me, Mike. I'm gluten-free, so I'd be happy about the chicken, but not really the pasta.
Fair
Oh
enough.
my god, you're right. So you'd be extra shocked if you came home to
I'd be
this.
like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is going on?
Chris, can I ask,
They find the bathtub. Oh yeah, ask.
were the newspapers in English or Polish?
I think these were British newspapers in English.
Okay.
From just what I glean off of this environment.
Mm-hmm.
The tub was filled with perfumed bubble bath water.
Okay.
Socks and underwear not belonging to them were hanging out to dry.
Odd.
Yeah. Shocked, Mr. Holtby ran upstairs and found Lukasz Chojnowski snoozing in the couple's bed like a regular frickin' Goldilocks over here.
Polish locks.
Chojnolocks.
Ah, oh crap, honey. Lukasz Chojnowski sleeping in a bed. That was my accent.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the. I got some quotes here from the defending lawyer, and the
So,
prosecutor.
just to back up though, this couple
But
comes back and they find Lukasz, this teenager, just sleeping in their bed eating their food.
It was Lukasz Chojnowski sleeping in their bed.
Mike, Lukasz Chojnowski is a totally brat.
He
Yeah.
absolutely is.
He rocked their house. So Laura Haywood, I got these. These are just like I picked from a few local UK newspapers that I found from the time. So this is 2014, by the way. Laura Haywood, defending lawyer, said the defendant chose the house because he initially thought it was empty. He said the garden was overgrown, and he entered. At that point, he must have known somebody was residing there, but he stayed for 2 days, hoping the owners wouldn't return. So apparently he had just recently been evicted. So he just walked around looking for an empty house, I guess.
That is
But the
classic Chojnowski.
I know. The couple did return, of course, at midnight on July 14th, 2014. Tim Ashmole, prosecuting, said on their arrival they noticed no post behind the front door and the cordless telephone moved from its base on a table in the hallway. Mr. Ashmole said Mr. Holtby went upstairs and his partner heard him say, "What are you doing? Get out! Get up!" I love that. She became immediately alarmed, ran upstairs, and came across a bizarre situation where Mr. Holtby was standing over the defendant, who was in bed. She described Chojnowski as cowering under the bed sheets.
Oh no! And I'm sorry if I missed it. Did you say what time of day this was?
Midnight.
Imagine you come home at midnight to find a Polish man in your bed. That's like from a horror movie.
Yeah. It's like one of those crazy Euro torture porn horror films.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Why did he prepare the chicken parm and pasta and then go to bed and have a perfumed bubble bath? I don't know.
He must
The
have smelled good at least because he had bathed in perfumed water.
The prosecutor said an open suitcase with Chojnowski's belongings in it was on the floor. He said the bath was half full of hot water with bubbles on top, as if someone had just had a bath, and there was a smell of perfume. The couple tried in vain to communicate with Chojnowski, who spoke little English, before dialing 999, and Mrs. Dyson locked the front door to prevent the intruder from escaping. The retired couple first realized something was amiss when they opened their front door to find their post and newspapers had been moved from the doormat. I guess I said a different version of that already, but I'm just yeah.
It's even more chilling to hear it again.
Yeah, the whole newspapers aspect is like really fucking me up.
Well, it's big to Miss Dyson. It's big to Miss Dyson because the more I say what she says,
I put
like
my papers
she's the one
over
that keeps
there,
insisting.
but now the papers are over here.
Yeah, she goes, Miss
What's
Miss
going on,
Dyson
Aunt?
said their house wasn't too tidy when they went away and discovered that Chojnowski had tidied up. She said he made himself some meals, washed his socks and underwear, and had done a grocery shop. Miss Miss Dyson added, he did burn an old saucepan, but that happens.
Lucas, you got to pay attention in the kitchen.
I just want to say I love everyone in this story. Maybe not the
Yes.
lawyers. I don't know them that well, but
If this story took place in America, be like the old couple comes in, Chojnowski has his gun. The old couple have their guns. They start shooting at each other. Everyone is dead.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Miss Dyson said it was a bit like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, although he was more like Baby Bear.
Did she really say
Uh,
that?
Yeah, I'm
That's
taking
kind of
quotes
cute.
from different articles.
That's cute.
I know. We've been through tough times. I'm doing a
Yeah.
little sweetie today. I don't know how he could think our house was derelict. Martin has volunteered as an estate manager and worked in woodland management for the last 30 years, and he likes our garden to be like that. In terms of burglars, he was the most domesticated one I could ever ask for.
He's like a little
Um,
angel. He blessed their house with his care and his love.
yeah. She says, fancy, washing his dishes and airing his smalls. I love calling underwear smalls. Airing his smalls. I would happily put him up in the cellar as our butler. I think he would be very good at that. It sounds like a fucking excerpt from Paddington Bear. I feel like this next line from an article I pulled is 100% a joke that Mike would love. Their window cleaner later told the couple he had seen Chojnowski in the house and presumed he was their grandson.
You look just like your grandfather. Thank you, sir. Lucas Chojnowski. He's charming everyone. Everyone he
I
comes
know.
across.
I know. Now I want to say too, obviously Chojnowski was basically being a squatter
He's
and
criminal.
yeah, and it turns out he was evicted, so I don't want to shame him for trying his best to find a place to get cozy, and
I mean, I hear you, but
he still broke into
you,
someone's
you can
place.
shame a guy a little if he breaks into a house that's
Yes,
clearly lived in.
that's why he qualified for a fun episode, in my
Yeah, I mean,
opinion.
I get it, but if we go down that road,
Well, I hope he was
I know it's complicated.
punished.
Yeah.
I hope he was punished to the full extent of the law, including the death penalty. I hope he fried for what he
Yeah.
did. Did that happen?
Yeah, they gave him the death penalty.
good.
Just like they did to Goldilocks. They ripped him to shreds with their claws. Well, I actually have here Judge Mr. Recorder Raymond Herman. Why Mr. Recorder? Where did that
Mr.
come from?
Mr. Recorder, Mr. Herman.
Raymond Herman, Judge Raymond Herman, but it says Mr. Recorder. What the fuck? Mean Mr. Recorder.
This whole thing sounds like a cartoon.
I know. I love it. Sometimes you need to do an Evil Men episode where you just put your feet up and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. Sometimes the simple stories are the
Mhm.
best.
Yes.
I agree. Judge said, it would appear you entered this property not with any deep intent to be dishonest, but simply as somewhere to live and probably hide for some days. You were looking for somewhere to live in some sort of desperation. It's right to say Mrs. Dyson and Mr. Holtby are at pains to ensure the court understands that they feel you left the house in a neat and tidy condition, and from that I infer they feel some sympathy for you. Mrs. Dyson said she felt fairly sympathetic, although he did break in, but it was neatly done.
Mrs. Dyson is awesome.
I love her, and honestly,
Yeah.
I love Lukasz Chojnowski. made a
Yeah.
nice meal, scented bubble bath,
Mhm.
hung out his smalls to dry, organized the place for these guys.
Yeah, they said
This
like
is
they
what
were slobs before, like they left the house in quite a state, and he cleaned it up for them.
I love that he saw the garden, looked in the window, and was like, "Oh yeah, this place is abandoned." But it was just an old couple on vacation. So Lukasz Chojnowski, 28, was given a 2-year conditional discharge and ordered to pay £200 in costs at Burnley Crown Court after admitting burglary. And that's your story about Lukasz Chojnowski.
You know what? I
Yeah.
honestly think that's a pretty fair punishment. Like,
Me too.
you should pay like about $300 Canadian or whatever for doing that. It's not really that bad, but maybe just a little something. Like, come on.
And honestly, like going to a court case, but then having like, you know, the victims, quote unquote, be sympathetic and be like,
Yeah.
he wanted to crash and he made the place cleaner and did a
Mhm.
nice job. I love that.
That's a good point.
People aren't
Judge,
reasonable anymore. They're all insane and mad and freak out.
to me, Chojnowski is like a Christ-like figure. He he made he made the world a better place from what he did.
I think so. Everybody who read the story went and did something nice afterwards.
I googled him, and yeah, there's a picture of him wearing the quite. I could see myself wearing this button-down shirt.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
me
famous
too.
blue
I
button
think
shirt.
you have it.
Mike, can you send it to me, please? I
It's
really want to see the
checkered.
shirt.
Yes, he has a nice checkered shirt. He has a very tight, short haircut. He's frowning in the picture, but we know he has a heart of gold.
Doesn't he
There.
kind of look like he could be from Poland?
He absolutely does. So, James, you should be receiving, and Chris, the
Oh,
article
oh,
beneath our last busty elf woman,
okay.
who's quite
You
top
know,
heavy.
Yeah,
I'm
I read
looking at
this
him.
one too. Yeah, I read this one. I gleaned
You
from
know,
this as well.
you know who he looks like a little bit?
Who?
Chris, who's the actor who played the Riddler in the latest Batman movie? You know who I'm
Paul
Paul
talking
Dano?
about?
Dano?
Paul, yeah, he looks a little
Paul
like him,
Dano?
maybe.
Yeah.
I think we all look a little bit like Lukasz Chojnowski because there's a little bit of Lukasz Chojnowski in all of us.
You know?
Well,
I agree. Let me check
gentlemen,
something here. I want to see something here after you mentioned that.
This is a very uplifting story. Usually we talk
I
about
loved it. That was great.
criminals, con men, sometimes murderers, sometimes, in the case of Gary Glitter, serial sex offenders who have just lots of little husbands all over the place. But
Yes.
this week we had just a guy who committed a very light crime.
I loved it. Chris, you are brilliant. I loved it. And I think I mean, I would find a lot of joy in listening to this little tale. Brilliant. Good new idea to mix in. Just to, we actually had a suggestion on the Discord that was saying, once in a while you could mix in like stupid, just people who aren't evil, but just kind of dumb or whatever.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And this is not really that exactly, but I like this sort of little variation on it. It's just a little
Yeah, if
funny
you go down
story
that
about
rabbit hole on Google, like there's some amazing stuff. There's guys that like post on Facebook that they're gonna go rob a bank before they do it, and then the
Yeah,
cops just
it's
grab
fun.
them. And yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff. But
This
sometimes
is this
you need
yeah.
light little bubblers.
This might this episode might in the future we might look back on this as the start of the Chojnowski revolution, where we sort of change the tone of the show and we start doing more sort of uplifting stories.
Honestly, I would like that because I
Well,
feel like honestly, like every article I read now hurts my
Dick?
heart and dick. Yeah, it depends. I guess it depends on what kind of article I'm looking at.
Well, you keep reading those articles about like how to punch yourself in the dick, and
Yeah.
those lead to injuries.
Yeah,
Gentlemen,
you're stupid.
should I summon the
Evilometer.
Oh, here comes Evilometer. He's wearing a nice button-up blue check shirt. He's got a really tightly cropped haircut. He's got a little duffel bag that carries all of his belongings, everything he owns, and he's also Polish.
Oh, evilometer. Well, God, what? Okay, an evil score for our subject here today. Oh my God, I guess I'll go first. I mean, 0.1. I'll give him a 0.1. I don't know what
Right.
else he's got going on in his life, but
Mhm.
this is minimal. Honestly,
Yeah.
possibly 0.05, like quite low. But he did a little bad thing.
Yeah.
0.05.
Well, you did argue that he's not wholly innocent.
No, that's why I'm saying like there's 0.1.
You
0.1.
relished his fine of 200 pounds. You were
Well,
like,
but that's not a big fine. I mean, he should get a little bit of a minor slap on the wrist. What if he had
Yeah.
broken into someone's home and they
Yeah.
weren't this lovely couple and it was a
Yes.
total, it could have
Yes.
been a bad situation, or it could have been like a woman alone and maybe she
Yes.
was really scared,
Yeah.
So it's a little
Yeah.
bad, I'd say. It's like
Yeah.
it could have been bad. It could have been
That's why I'm
not
giving
good.
him a 1.
Yeah.
For slightly negative judgment.
Yeah.
And he
Um,
did B&E. I mean, come on.
imagine if you
Yeah.
heard like, "Hey, Grandma and Grandpa came home from their trip, and there's like a 25-year-old Polish guy sleeping in their bed."
And they adopted him. By the way, anyone who's Polish,
Mhm.
I love you,
Nothing but
and
love. Mhm.
I also love pierogies. So thank you very
Yes.
much.
Sorry, I'm having a memory pop, Mike. That happened to my uncle.
What?
He was away or something and he came back and there were these like young people in the house and it was his cleaning lady's daughter or something and her friends because they thought he was away. Like something like it's not exactly that, but
Yeah.
it
Whoa.
might have been a vacation home or something, but it was like something
Hey.
like that. Yeah.
Sketchy.
So it
Yeah, it's
happened.
not like a
We'll get my uncle on.
super.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've heard stories kind of like it before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This
Well-
one's cute.
Can I give my score on the evilometer for Lukasz Chojnowski?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna give him a 0.7 on the evilometer
Ooh.
scale. To me, he's like a less ambitious and more depressed barefoot bandit.
Yeah. You know what? Like Barefoot Bandit had this like amazing backstory and that that
Mhm.
his break-ins were pretty charming and this guy's was charming, but yeah, Barefoot really set it up well.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, there we've passed judgment on Lukasz Chojnowski.
Yeah, judgment passed.
Mike, what's your background again?
I'm 75% Chojnowski. No, I'm half Irish, quarter Slovak, quarter Hungarian. But all of Eastern Europe is pretty much Poland.
I looked up Paul Dano just in case anyone wants to know.
Oh yeah.
He is of Rusin. Would you Rusyn? Would you say Rusin?
I don't know. I've never seen that.
Me neither. He's of Rusin, Slovenian, Czech, and Swedish descent.
Wow, what a mix.
But like you said,
just
it's
like the Riddler.
But like you said, it is like a Eastern European goulash over there.
Yeah. It's all just a bunch of people who live in muddy fields and eat what are they called? Beets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, if you it's okay. I turn into a psycho with unlimited power.
Yes.
And I go to your apartment and I put a gun to your head and I say, Mike, you have to move to either Slovakia or Hungary. What do you choose? One of your two quarter Eastern European heritage countries.
I think because Hungary is like one of the worst countries in Europe, like politically, even though Budapest I'm sure is really cool, I think I might choose Slovakia. But even Slovakia has drifted into a bad place. Yeah, I guess I'd just toss a coin and see where it lands. I don't know.
Yeah, because when Polyevra gets in, you might get deported.
I get deported. I would choose Ireland if I could choose one of the three.
That's
yeah.
Right.
yeah.
You know?
I left that out because I thought that'd be
Thank
a
you.
pretty
Thank you.
easy choice there.
Yeah.
Well, I love that, Chris. That was really fun. I had a great time, and great job.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say a couple things to the people listening. If you're in Halifax, I think I have a few tickets left for 2 shows at the Good Robot November 29th. And the tickets are in my link tree, which you can find on Instagram. And then Toronto, December 21st, I'm recording 2 shows at the Drake Underground. And same thing, you can find tickets for that in the link tree, which is also links in my Instagram
And I'll
bio.
put it.
And yeah. Oh, and thanks.
I'll
Yeah,
put it in
Mike
the show notes for this episode, and until those shows happen. Yeah.
Also,
Oh, I
thank
can-
you to Andrew Neville for designing both posters for both shows. They're pretty
Oh.
cool, and I've gotten lots of compliments on them. So thanks.
Ooh.
Cool.
I
Come
even
on
have a
out.
show.
I'm
I even have a show to
goofy.
promote. I'm opening for Todd Barry December 6th
Oh, sorry.
in Hamilton, Ontario.
Whoa.
So check out Todd Barry's website if you live in Hamilton and you wanna come.
That's sick, dude.
What's
Todd
the
Barry's
venue?
so funny, James.
I don't even
So
know. He just
funny.
asked me today, so I said sure.
Whoa. I'm doing some shows around Toronto.
Don't feel. I mean, Mike, I never have anything to
No,
promote,
no, no.
so please don't feel bad.
No, you just got back from jet setting.
I was jet
Yeah.
setting. It was good. But yeah, I'll put links to all of your shows in the show notes, and get your tickets, listeners.
Also, if you're if you're playing Spot the Evil Men hosts, walking around Toronto, check us out on Roncesvalles at some point, because we're going to meet up to commemorate this episode, and we're going to get some pierogies, some babka, some goulash,
Sausage,
yeah.
kielbasa.
Sausage, yeah,
We get some.
kopitka.
We haven't had a big meal together at a recording session for a long time. We're overdue.
I know. Let's get some food in us. Well, thanks, Lucas. That was another great episode of Evil